Test. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test. And we are live. Test 1 2. Test. Test 1 2. Test. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am Creole, one half of Untwisting the Game Crypto, where we discuss all things Bitcoin, Polkadot, and Cardano. As always, let me know in the chat if my levels are okay. It's been a long evening. We've had quite a few drinks, so let me know if the levels are okay. I've got some good information coming to you. And I want you to make note, because a lot of YouTube influencers were talking about ChainX, but they haven't brought you the recent news about the blockchain going down. I'll cover that and more. And again, this is Untwisting the Game Crypto, where we discuss all things Bitcoin, Polkadot, and Cardano. And today I want to discuss with you the ChainX blockchain getting stuck. It actually went down the past week. Yes, the ChainX blockchain went offline. But before we review the Post-mortem article, I will discuss a little bit with you. A special shout out to the validators and nominators who have jumped into collect data. They helped each other rebuild the blockchain and network together. You are absolute legends. Now I'll kind of explain a little bit of everything for you. And please, as always, if this information is good for you, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel, and it also helps Michelle and I know what you all want to listen to. Again, this is the ChainX post-mortem episode here. I'm going to discuss with you what happened with ChainX. It actually went down this past week. What did the team do? How did the team respond? I will go all of that right now. And again, please forgive us. I actually had a dinner with my wife tonight, and for those of you who know me, my wife is quite the socialite. Everywhere we go, we get free drinks, we meet new people. She's just that kind of person, so bear with me. I was going to postpone this episode another night, but Michelle URL said, go live. So we shall. And if you follow us, you know I have been very bullish on ChainX. And really, actually, after the blockchain going down and seeing how the team and the devs responded, I'm actually even more bullish on ChainX. So let's jump into it. This article was released by ChainX. It's on medium.com. As always, I will leave the resource in the comments. But let's jump into the article right now. The ChainX blockchain got stuck. Yes, it did get stuck. And those paying attention felt it because we stopped receiving rewards. The previous state was exported and used as the genesis for a new blockchain. Penalized PCX has been returned and the blockchain is back to normal. That's key. A lot of us thought we got penalized, but the ChainX team did make it right in the long run. Actually, I got more rewards than I was supposed to. So please resume your usual activities. Now that the blockchain is back to normal operation, we can recollect the events that took place last week. In the European evening of the 9th of August 2021, ChainX validators were unable to finalize blocks, which ultimately led to the blockchain getting stuck. In this article, we're going to recollect the events of the past week and explain a few concepts. If anything in this article is unclear, please join us in the Telegram and ask us your questions. And I will say, can I pass the lighter? I will say, please follow the Telegram when it comes to ChainX, because the Twitter doesn't do it justice. In the ChainX, you have a large population of not only the community members, but also devs in the Telegram explaining what's going on during this time. So let's move into the article. So it begins. Substrate's consensus mechanism is split into two pieces, Babe and Grandpa. So let's have an educational session right now. What is Babe and Grandpa? So before we begin the review of the post-mortem article, a special shout out to all the validators and nominators who have jumped in the collection of data, helped each other rebuild the blockchain and network together. You are absolute legends. So consensus is a method for coming to an agreement over a shared state. So in order for the state of the blockchain to continue and build and move forward, all of the nodes in the blockchain network must agree and come in consensus together. Okay? Now, it is the way that the nodes in a decentralized network are able to stay synced with each other. Okay? That's consensus. The nodes staying synced. Okay, without consensus for the decentralized network of nodes of blockchain, there no way to ensure that the state of one node believes true will be shared by other nodes. So what does that mean? Let's break it down. And I will explain. This is why Polkadot is so important in the whole entire cryptosphere, because consensus and governance matters, okay? In Polkadot, there are two protocols we use when we talk about the consensus protocol for Polkadot, okay? There's Grandpa and there's Babe. Okay, Grandpa, what does that mean? Pop quiz. Anybody in the chat knows what Grandpa means? Let me know. Okay, Grandpa is the ghost-based recursive ancestor deriving prefix agreement. Is that right? Let me say that again. Grandpa is the ghost-based recursive, okay, ancestor deriving prefix agreement. In Babe, what is Babe? Babe is the blind assignment for the blockchain extension. Okay, so what does all this mean? I'm going to break it down for you. Polkadot uses a hybrid consensus. This is different from, let's say, Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin only has one consensus, proof of work. Okay, proof of stake. In Polkadot, there's a shared consensus. It's a hybrid consensus split up. Bear with me now. Okay, it's a hybrid consensus. There's a finality gadget for the block and production mechanism. And this is different from proof of stake. So proof of stake is Nakamoto consensus. Nakamoto consensus only uses a parabolic finality, okay? This is different from blockchain. Let's jump into the article. Okay, Babe creates the blocks and Grandpa finalizes them. This ensures fast blocks production and finalization, with Grandpa lagging 2 or 3 blocks behind. On this fateful evening of August 9th, 2021, however, a large number of nodes were unable to perform their Grandpa responsibilities, leaving the network unable to finalize the blocks. So, Grandpa requires 2/3 of all validators to form their Grandpa responsibilities and vote on which blocks to finalize, keeping everyone on the same blockchain and not creating multiple forks. This is an issue with proof of work, right? Proof of work, you could have multiple forks or multiple blocks at the same time, but Polkadot kind of solves this. So if less than 2/3 of the validators vote on a block, it can finalize and will wait until they have. For every block that passes, all nodes get penalized or slashed. And if you were staking your ChainX to the ChainX blockchain, you saw over the past week your rewards getting slashed, okay? And they're going to explain why this happened and how they fixed it. Okay, for every block that passes, all nodes get penalized or slashed, which reduces the interest pool or jackpot of the pot's balances by a certain amount. So we're leaving the exact calculations of the amount out of this article for simplicity's sake. So this is key. When an interest pool is penalized so far that it is empty, the node is withdrawn from service and becomes a dropout. That's what happened in this situation. This frees up a validator as a spot for the next biggest candidate to take over. That candidate then assumes the responsibilities of the validator that was previously withdrawn. Giving this new validator can perform their Grandpa responsibilities correctly, the validators regain their 2/3 requirements and blocks are finalized again. But it didn't in this situation. This is key. A lot of nodes, the physical server that runs the validator or candidate software, had gotten stuck at the previous finalized block. So at block 3,696,666, the rest of the nodes had passed to the next block without any problems. The network was now in a state where responsive validator nodes are waiting for the stuck validator nodes to catch up and resume their responsibilities, or get withdrawn from the network through penalizing their interest pools and have them replaced with the responsive candidate nodes. So they kind of explain what happened here, okay? Pretty much the blockchain got out of sync, okay? But then it got worse, okay? The community in PolkaX is the entity that creates ChainX and also SherpaX, okay? They were scrambling to get contact details of all the validators and candidates to instruct and guide them on fixing their nodes. So that's what the holdup was. They had a fix for the blockchain going down, but they had to contact all of the nodes and explain to them how to update the nodes and what was wrong. And that was the hang up. So it was a race against the clock because in the background, things were getting worse. Babe, by design, keeps producing blocks so that transactions are still recorded. But if it gets too far ahead of Grandpa, it will slow down. Normally, blocks are created every 6 seconds, but with Grandpa stuck, block creation was slowed down to 10 seconds and 30 seconds, then 2 minutes, then 10 minutes, and would inevitably stop. The community was unable to reach all the validators in time, and those that were reached were able to repair their nodes in time, leaving blockchain to slowly come to a halt. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Let me grab this. Okay, time to rebuild. Nodes were being repaired and blocks were being finalized, but the damage was done. The blockchain had come to a complete halt at block 3,696,822. Grandpa was finalizing blocks again, reaching 3,696,796 in the end to no avail. Keynote right here, the PolkaX team exported the chain to state at block 3,696,796 and used it as a genesis for a new and fresh blockchain, ChainX 3.0. So what they did, they pretty much stopped the blockchain because it came to a halt. They took a snapshot at the end, and then they created a new blockchain. Let's move on in the article. On the 10th and the 11th of August, after communication with the developers of Parity Tech, and Parity Tech, they're the ones who build Substrate and Polkadot. Okay, Substrate uses this two-tiered consensus mechanism that Polkadot uses as well. PolkaX made a modification to the ChainX binary, disconnecting Babe and Grandpa. Okay, both are still used, but Babe simply will not wait for Grandpa anymore. So this is how they fix it. They went back in the code and they separated Grandpa and Babe. After a quick check that everything was in order, PolkaX started the new network in the morning of the 12th of August, using the previous exported chain state as the genesis. Validators were slowly being added and the network rebuilt itself. Transactions were possible and users could resume their normal activities. I will say this right here before we continue in the article. This is why it's always important to take your coins off the exchanges, right? Because if you were like me and you had your PCX or your ChainX off of the exchange and on the mainnet, then you didn't feel this as much, right? Because these exchanges, they take a little bit longer to fix the blockchains. For example, I have some PCX on MXC exchange. They still will not allow withdrawals and deposits because they take a little bit longer to make the corrections. So you always want to have full custody of your coins. Prime example. Let's move on in the article. The ChainX network was deemed stable on the 14th of August, so the PolkaX team got to calculating the penalties incurred during this event. Later that day, almost all validators and candidates were refunded previously penalized PCX to their interest pools. 3 nodes in agreement with their operators were refunded a few days later. And this is important. So for me, I had my ChainX on the Polkadot.js a module or website, so I had full control of my coins. So as always, the mainnet is always repaired first. Since I had my coins on the mainnet, I could move them freely sooner than I had my coins on an exchange, for example. Okay? Not your keys, not your cheese. Always have full control and custody of your coins. Okay? This is a prime example. Let's continue. Crisis overcome. So how did they fix it? As of writing this article, the ChainX blockchain is back to normal operation. The new binary has Babe and Grandpa decoupled so that if this ever happens again, the blockchain won't stop generating blocks, allowing for more time for the network to self-heal. That's one thing really important that's different from proof of stake than proof of work. With proof of stake, if everything's coded correctly, the blockchain will self-heal. So in this case, what they did to fix the blockchain was pretty much separate or decouple the two consensus mechanisms. Let's move on. We will also be working more closely with our validators, create better communication channels, and set up more stringent hardware requirements. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our community for their patience and support. We'd like to thank our validators for being readily available and helping each other with rebuilding the network. You are amazing. We hope that our recent predicament serves as an example for proper node operation and maintenance for other substrate projects, and that they may learn from our humbling experience. If it's one thing crypto will do, it will humble you. Even the most smartest people in the world. Now, I'm still bullish on this project because I was involved in the Telegram, I was involved in Twitter, and I saw how quickly they made changes and corrections to heal the blockchain. Let's move forward here. Extra information, we have retained the old blockchain transaction history on scan old.chainx.org. The new blockchain will be available on scan.chainx.org. There's currently an imbalance in staking rewards. And if you follow, a side note here, if you follow the Telegram group, they will let you know if you are nominating to a particular validator, what to do in that situation. I believe now there's a couple of validators where they want you to wait before you claim your rewards because it may screw your rewards up. And again, they say this is due to vote age and will eventually even out naturally over time. For further reading on the above mentioned concepts, please see Babe plus Grandpa here and then the vote age here. So that's pretty much the article, but I just kind of wanted to talk with you for a second. And as always, leave me some conversation in the chat. I am watching the chat and I will answer questions. Okay, so again, if you follow this channel, we are Untwisting the Game Crypto, where we discuss everything Bitcoin, Polkadot, and Cardano. Now, here we believe Bitcoin is king and Bitcoin will always be king, but Bitcoin won't be the only blockchain that succeeds in the future. If you ask Michelle and I, our two top blockchains that will succeed in the future are Cardano and Polkadot, okay? For several reasons, if you want to learn why we think that way, please go listen to our past videos, okay? So again, you know, if you've been here a while or at least a year, you've seen a lot of YouTube influencers kind of tout ChainX or PCX as the next 10x, 100x. And that's true. I still think it will 10x or 100x. Why? Not financial advice, but there's only 21 million coins that will ever be minted, similar to Bitcoin. But what ChainX is trying to do is be a second layer solution on top of Bitcoin, okay? And this second layer solution will connect to Polkadot network. And if you don't know yet, if you're new to the space or you're new to this channel, the Polkadot ecosystem will be absolutely massive. It is my non-financial advice that Polkadot will be more massive than Ethereum is now. And again, listen to our past videos. I will explain that reasoning. But Polkadot will be massive. Cardano will be massive as well. Again, ChainX or PCX is one of our more favorite coins to hold in the Polkadot ecosystem, simply because they are trying to be a second layer on top of Bitcoin. Let's think of other second layers on top of Bitcoin. Pop quiz, give me an example of a second layer on top of the Bitcoin network. Put it in the chat. Okay, I've got 5 people viewing right now, which is actually really amazing for me. Oh, okay. Buying more Polkadot, says coin holder. Yes, you should always buy Polkadot. And really, Polkadot right now is actually for a hell of a discount, right? A couple months ago when we had that parabolic run-up where Cardano went to 2.5 cents, Bitcoin went to, what, 50, 60,000? Polkadot actually reached above $50. And even that was low for the time. If you look at the Polkadot cost right now, what is the Polkadot price? I think it was around $24, $25. And I actually bought quite a bit of Polkadot. the past couple of months. Lightning, yes, yes. Coin hodler, you are right. The Lightning Network is the number one Bitcoin second layer solution right now. And I do feel it will be the number one second layer solution probably within 2 generations, simply because all of the best developers are working on that technology. But, that's not going to be the only second layer solution on top of Bitcoin, right? The number two second layer solution is going to be ChainX. The blockchain went down the past week, but a lot of blockchains have had hitches and hiccups. Even Bitcoin itself had a hitch and hiccup. I believe in the earlier years, one block mined like over 1 million Bitcoin coins. Thankfully, Satoshi Nakamoto was still in the space at that time, and he fixed the code. Okay, so this tells you, it's not when you're looking at other projects and when you're looking at things to invest in, not financial advice. Each and every blockchain will have their hiccups. Okay, what makes you want to hone in is how the development team responds and how that development team corrects the issue. And again, I've been in the Telegram for quite some time, ever since my rewards got slashed, and I've really been impressed with the communication in the Telegram group. So I'm still bullish on ChainX, even though it's ChainX 3.0. Okay, I'm going back to the chat right now. Coin Hodler says stacks. Not for sure what you mean by that, but if I was to assume, you want to stack several coins right now, because we know where cryptocurrency is going, right? We know where blockchain technology is going, right? Bitcoin will be $100 trillion market cap. There will be several blockchains that are being developed right now that will have worldwide use in the future. Okay, back to the chat right now. He says, would they count as a second layer for Bitcoin? Yes, Coin Hodler. Again, don't listen to what projects say on Twitter. You have to go to the project's Telegram, right? Because most of the developers, most of the validators, they communicate with each other on Telegram, all right? So there's a lot of information you can gain following these Telegram groups for each coin. And I will tell you, STX, I'm not for sure what STX is. Let's look that up. And I'm not going to spend too much time today. I am going to go live again tomorrow. But let's see what STX is, since you are commenting with me in the chat. But yes, PCX or ChainX, if you followed the project from the beginning, right? From the beginning, which I mean, when Elio Trades was talking about it, when, what's his name? BitBoy was talking about it, they were all talking about the previous thesis of the chain, okay? If you've been following the Telegram, the developers have kind of switched their thinking, okay? They went from, we're going to be a pair chain in Polkadot, and we're going to suck liquidity out of Bitcoin into the Polkadot ecosphere. They've kind of evolved their thesis to being a second layer on top of Bitcoin. Let me go back to the chat here. Oh, the Logosphere. Hey, the Logosphere, what's up, man? I really appreciate your channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting me up. Any word on the kombucha snapshot? So, no, I haven't seen any updates on the kombucha snapshot. If you have been following the Edgeware project, you did notice there was over 100% increase the past week, right? Because everybody's getting ready for the snapshot. Now, the last piece of information I received from the Edgeware developers was that the snapshot was going to occur on August 15th at 0 UTC time. I haven't heard any updates since then. So if they took the snapshot then, or they're going to move the snapshot in the future, I don't know yet, but I am going to continue to follow that project. Okay. Oh, more chats here. I appreciate the love in the chats. Um, Coin Hodler says, I'm nothing to the delay, 20-second delay. Um, Not sure what you mean about that. Again, I've had several martinis at the bar, so can you kind of explain what you mean by that? I'm going to go on to the next chat. James Sandman, what's up, man? That's a new name. Thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for listening. He says, thank you for sharing information. Yes, I wanted to share information about PCX because all of these YouTube influencers that you follow, they praise PCX, but they're not giving you the information what's going on right now. And if you're just tuning in, the ChainX blockchain completely halted. They stopped the entire blockchain, but I'm still impressed with how the developers navigated those issues, right? Because I've been in the space a while. I've seen a lot of blockchains go down. A lot of blockchains have issues, and I am impressed with the developers and validators, how they handled this issue. And if you're just tuning in, rewind. I will leave this article in the description. They will tell you exactly what happened, what caused it, and how they will fix it in the future. Okay, let me go back to the chat here. Oh, Michelle URL is in the chat. Thank you, Michelle. And again, if you're new to the channel, this is Untwisting the Game Crypto. I'm one half of the channel. I'm Creole. Michelle URL is the other half. She says, thanks for tuning in, Logic Sphere. Yes, a lot of shout outs to Logic Sphere. And hey, man, Logic Sphere, we're going to link up with you and maybe do some type of camaraderie here. Okay, back to the chat. Coin holder says, I didn't say nothing. I said noting, as in taking note of the delay. Looks like 30 seconds, really. Okay, so I'm not for sure about the time and the delay, but according to this article, the delay did get pretty postponed. I mean, it got so postponed that they had to shut the blockchain down. But I will tell you, it's up and running, right? So if you have your PCX on the Polkadot.js site and you're actually staking directly with the dap.chainx.org, I believe it's the site, you're up and running, right? And really, right now, I'm receiving more rewards than ever because all the exchanges haven't caught up, right? So I am nominating to one of the few validators that's up and running. So I'm making quite a hefty amount of ChainX per 24 hours right now. Okay, I'm going to go back to the chat. Actually, I'm going to, let me make a drink right quick. And I will be back. So please talk to me in the chat. Okay, Colin Hodler says stream delay. There's probably a stream delay. I am still traveling quite a bit. So, you know, internet and Wi-Fi is very spotty. But I will get to your questions, and I will answer as much as possible. Okay, back to the chat right now. Big Seaman, what's up, man? I want to take a loan of $5K. I will have to pay it back with interest $7K. Okay. I want to invest it all in crypto. Then I fail. I'll work hard and try to pay it back. Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. So I'm really debating back and forth if I should take $1 million loan out right now with my crypto collateralized, right? I'm actually talking with Michelle right now. Again, this is not financial advice, Big Seaman, okay? This is just what's going on in my head right now. So, and I will post this video. I'm going to take $1 million loan out, and I am going to put it right back into crypto. Now, with that big of a loan from Celsius, you want to be a little bit safer. So I would tell you right now, not financial advice, is if you take a loan out of $5,000, what will you use it for? Right? Because you've got to pay that $5,000 back. No doubt. He says $1 million. Yeah, I'm probably saying too much right now. Okay, so Big Seaman, let me talk to you right now. You take $5,000 out in a loan. What are you going to use it for? Let me know in the chat. 5 to 6K, and I'm scared. Yes, this is scary, right? Crypto will humble you. Crypto will make you think about things that's not possible. Crypto will make you... Okay, my sister is telling me just to end the live right now because I'm a little tipsy, but I'm going to talk to you, man. Yes, so crypto is scary, right? It's a lot of money involved. It's a lot of risk involved also. So he says, I will use it for XRP and QNT. Okay, my next question to you, Big Seaman, is how long have you been investing in the space? And I'm going to answer your question. When was the first time you bought crypto? What year was that? I'm going to wait a couple seconds and I'll keep talking to you, Big Seaman. So it depends, right? 6K loan, 35% LTV on 18,000 collateral. Not long, bro. 1 year, only XRP. Okay, Big Seaman, let me talk to you, man. If you have been investing only in a year in crypto, the only thing you need to invest in right now is Bitcoin. Then sold it all. Okay. Okay, Big Seaman, you're new to the space. One thing you need to realize is don't sell your coins. Right? Even if you enter a position that's not premier or prime, you never sell your coins. Why? Because you never know. It could be 2-3 years from now, XRP or whatever you invest in may 10 or 100x. Right? So if you are investing in the crypto space, you need to have a long-term view. If you just started investing in crypto a year ago, you're not going to be a millionaire, right? You will be a millionaire 3 to 5 years from now, and that's what type of time frame you need to be thinking in. Now, me personally, with my portfolio, I sold 90% of my XRP as soon as it was announced they were going into a lawsuit with the SEC. And that was quite some time ago. And at that time, I told my community that this case would not be solved by May because all the XRP army said this is going to be an open and shut case. When you're going head-to-head against the government, it's going to take a while. So that's why I'm not personally investing in XRP right now because I don't know what's going to happen with the case. Because if I look at the entire crypto space, there are other coins that will 10x, 100x before XRP will, and that's simply because they're in a lawsuit with the SEC. Let me go back to the comments here. Big Seaman, then sold it all, LOL. Okay, don't sell your crypto. Never sell your crypto. I still have BitConnect on a wallet somewhere. Still haven't sold it. Coin Hodler, if you invested $3,000 in Luna during June, then you could safely borrow the 6K. That is correct. You can say that about several projects. I'm not personally invested in Luna, but I hear really good things about Luna, and I'm never going to suggest anything to you or the community that I don't know about. Let's go back onto the chat. Luna went from $7 to 31. Yes, it did, right? Just like all the other top 25 coins. This is crypto. Everything's going to go up exponentially. Coin Hodler continues to say 3K to 18K easy, 5,900 borrowed, doing it right now, living my best life. Good for you. And if you learn this crypto game, you can live your best life. Definitely. Because you're not going to find 10x or 100x gains in the stock market, right? The S&P 500. You're not going to do that. Big Seaman says, bro, I've been watching QNT when it was $30. Now QNT is $200. In 6 months to a year, QNT will be $500. Okay, let me stop you right there, Big Seaman. Okay, what I want you to do is go Google the 4-year cycle to the crypto market, right? Right now, out of the 4-year cycle, we're on the last year of the 4-year cycle, okay? The 4th year or the last year of the 4-year cycle, everything's going to go up exponentially. So, right, everybody is a genius this time of the cycle because whatever coin you invest in is going to go up. He says, but I will tell you, if you are a new investor, what you need to think about is not what's going to go up by December, but what's going to go down the least in the bear market. And most likely the bear market will hit January, February of 2022. Now, unless Bitcoin is in a super cycle, we will see sustained gains. Let me go back to the chat here. He says, that's what I mean. If I get this loan, I'm single. I will work hard to pay a little back over 5 years, even if I have to be a cleaner. Yes, that is a good point. Once you get indoctrinated in the crypto industry, you realize that what's more important is your future. So you will do anything right now to gain as many coins as possible. That is very true. Even I'm doing that, right? I've seen 2 4-year cycles. I've amassed quite a bit of coins. And the more you get entrenched in this space, the more you want to put fiat money directly into crypto because we know where blockchain technology is going. Colin Hodler says, yes, I took the loan, getting charged like 26% while earning rewards 38.5%, so it cancels out. Taking that money and I'm farming with it. Okay, you know what you're doing. And I'm doing that with a couple coins right now. I try not to use leverage, right? Because this is cryptocurrency industry. A tweet could send the market down 30%, and we've seen that, right, with Elon Musk and whatnot. So I will caution you to be careful when loaning money and leveraging money. Even though you're making a good percentage right now, that 38.5%, I'm not for sure what you're mining or farming, but that could drop, at a drop of a hat. I've seen that happen. Honestly, I was mining Tidal Finance. I was staking it. I was receiving 1,300% APR, and I was receiving that for about 4 days. Then it dropped quite a bit down to 56. I think it's 56 right now. Okay, let's go back to the chat. I'm in a pool earning 600% auto compounding, so I withdraw LP as it grows, sell it to another pool, which earns me 400%. Okay, so Coin Hodler, you're doing the math. You're on the right path, but I will warn you, when you are farming, I will ask you, are you farming on an Ethereum platform? Okay? If you're farming on an Ethereum platform, just know those gains won't last forever. So you have to put yourself in a place to minimize risk as much as possible. And we've seen the Ethereum hack, for $600 million? $600 million. So be careful with those DeFi and those farming algorithms and code, because you never know where a backdoor is. Okay, he says, thanks on twisting the game. And Big Seaman, we continue the conversation